What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I made my way down to Mooresville Ford and we're going to take a look at this 2020 Ford Mustang GT Premium. Huge shout out to them for providing this car for me today. They have a huge selection of inventory. They are starting to get in a lot of 2020 models. Definitely check out their website in the description below. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at this one. It's finished off in rapid red metallic and has an MSRP just over $47,000. This particular one also has the performance package as well. Under the hood of the 2020 GT Premium, this has a naturally aspirated 5-liter V8 engine. It's paired to the 6-speed manual. You can also opt for the 10-speed automatic transmission. This engine will produce 470 horsepower at 7,000 RPM and 420 pound-feet of torque at 4,600 RPM. It is rear-wheel drive, weighs just around 4,400 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds with a top speed of 155 miles an hour. And with a fuel capacity of 16 gallons, you can expect to see 16 miles per gallon in the city and 25 on the highway. The overall wheelbase measures 101.1 inches. It has an overall length of 188.5 inches. The width is 81.9 and it has a height of 54.3 inches. Starting up front on the 2020 GT Premium, we'll go ahead and take a look at the LED headlights. They have a very nice design to them. This also features LED daytime running lights. They're on the inside of the housing. They kind of have a sequential style look to them like the taillights, which we'll get to here soon. So I really like the design of those. In the center of the bumper, we have the turn signal along with a fog light, and then right in the middle is the gloss black grille. It has a large design to it. There's lots of cutouts in it to provide maximum cooling to that 5-liter V8. You can see the Pony logo right in the center, along with some cutouts in the lower section of the bumper as well. The front end of this car has a really aggressive appearance to it. You can see the splitter that runs down the bottom. There's great contours on each side. You can see them also down below, the turn signals there, so there's a very aggressive front end to it. It's nice and proportional and wide at the same time. And then you can see two distinctive lines running down each side of the hood, along with two running down the middle. Moving to the side of the 2020 GT Premium, if you look on Ford's website, this has several different wheel options that you can get for this model. This particular one, however, has the 19 by 8.5 inch high gloss black wheels. They're wrapped in Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires. And with the performance package, that means it has the Brembo brakes. So it has 6 piston calipers up front with the rotors measuring 15 inches. So you definitely have great performance with this vehicle. Just behind that, you can see the 5.0 badge. This does have body colored side mirrors with the integrated turn signal, and they are power folding as well. You can see there's more trim pieces running down the side skirts there, kind of extending from the front splitter there. You can see there's great lines running through the lower section of the door, along with a really nice contoured line. It starts just behind the front tire there through the door handle and kind of stops just in front of the back tire. Overall, it has a really nice side profile to it, nice coupe-like design. And finishing up in the rear with the trunk lip spoiler, has a really aggressive design to it. Just below that, you can see the blacked out trim piece with GT and the backup camera on the top. This trim piece nicely separates the sequential turn signals in the back. Of course, those act as the taillights as well, but you can see how the DRLs up front kind of have that similar design. So it's really nice how they incorporated that up front along with in the back. As the Mustangs are known to have these sequential turn signals, I think it's a really nice design in the car industry. Just below that, we have 4 parking sensors down in the lower section of the bumper, along with the active performance exhaust with the quad tips. I can't wait to start this up for you guys to hear this once the vehicle is warmed up. Right in the center, we have the reverse light. There's some more contoured lines running throughout the middle section of the bumper. Just flows nicely with the rest of the vehicle. That's going to finish it up for the exterior walk around on the 2020 Mustang GT Premium. Especially finished off in this color. It's just a gorgeous color out in the sunlight. I love all of the features with the black wheels. It just has really nice proportions all around. And then especially with the performance package, just gives it a little bit more for that track ready use and being able to take this out on the back roads. But now let's go ahead, hop inside and take a look at the interior. As long as I have the key on me, just place my hand on the door handle, it will automatically unlock. Starting off with the door panel, you'll see there's very nice leather running down the armrest. This has silver stitching on the back side of it with a nice design. Right in the middle we have the aluminum release handle with the lock and unlock in front of that. The grab handle has a nice design to it with more of the aluminum trim piece on the outside. The window controls are just in front of that, along with the power side mirror adjustments. This has a 9-speaker audio sound system with a little bit of storage space down in the center as well. So now once inside, I'm going to start off going over these leather seats. They are very comfortable. They are heated and ventilated as well. You can see the silver stitching running down each bolsters. I would say they're more of a sport bucket style seat. The bolsters aren't too aggressive, but they're very comfortable. You even have some side bolstering by your thighs as well. So it's a very comfortable seat. You can definitely get this in the right position. And then moving on to the steering wheel, it's fully wrapped in leather with more of the silver stitching running on the inside. You have all of the controls that you need, like your cruise control. You have your volume and radio controls, along with some dials for the center screen, which I'll get to here soon. And you have your Bluetooth and voice commands as well. And then more brushed aluminum trim pieces on each side gives it a very nice look. So using the buttons on the right side of the steering wheel, we can look at a lot of information on the 4.2-inch screen. You can look at your gauge mode and see things like distance till empty, your speedometer and TPMS, and then a ton of vital information that you can keep an eye on, which is nice to see. We can scroll down to trip and fuel. So you have trip 1 and trip 2, along with your fuel economy and fuel history. We can go back and look at track apps. You have your status screen. You can change things like your steering, your exhaust note, and things like that. You have an accelerometer along with a timer and the brake performance. There's also a lap timer and launch control as well. You can have the active rev matching turned on or off as well. You have your driver assistance, so you can turn on different driving aids that you can see there, and then different settings that you can go into. We have the exhaust note. It has a quiet mode, a normal mode, sport, and track. On each side of that screen, you can see the tach and engine temperature on the left side, and then on the right side is your speedometer and fuel gauge. As we move to the left side of the steering wheel, you have the trunk release button down below, along with all of your headlight controls and one air vent. You can see there's a speaker up on the A pillar there. And then as we make our way to the center, you'll see 2 more gauges up in the middle, along with an air vent on each side. And then we can take a look at the touchscreen display. You'll see down on the bottom is basically all of the presets. So you have audio on the far left. Your climate controls are right next to that, and you can obviously control everything that you need to. This has dual zone climate, so you can easily adjust passenger and driver side. Phone is right next to that. We can pull up the navigation screen, so that way you can see that in full screen there. There's different apps that you can go through along with your settings. So you have your clock, Bluetooth phone, things like that, and you can easily swipe to other information as well. Right in the center, you have the power button for the audio, along with being able to change the track. You have your volume on the left side and tuning on the right side. Very nice aluminum buttons. They have a nice feel to them. You have more physical AC buttons right in the center, so if you're not on that screen up top, you can easily adjust your fan speed, and you'll see that pop up on the screen. You can turn on and off your AC. And then, as I mentioned earlier, this has heated and ventilated seats, so you have 3 adjustments for the driver and passenger, and then you can adjust each side with the temperature as well. Just below that, we have some toggle switches that have a very nice design to them, along with the engine start stop button, which is on the far left. You have your hazards. You have traction control, which you can turn on and off. This is your steering button, so just by pushing on that, you have normal, sport, and comfort. And then on the far right is the different driving modes. So you have normal, sport plus, track, drag strip, and snow and wet. So you can go between all of those depending on what you're using the vehicle for. And these toggle switches are finished off in aluminum, have a very nice solid feel to them. Just underneath that, there's a USB and 12 volt and a little bit of storage space for a phone or something like that. And then this is the 6-speed manual again. Very nice shifts. I can't wait to get this out on the road. If we pull this up and go all the way over to the left, you'll see the backup camera light up. Very nice guidelines and a clear picture to see anything behind you. Just behind that, we have the manual parking brake along with 2 cup holders on one side. The center console is finished off in leather, and you can open it from the driver's side or the passenger side, which is nice to see. There's a USB and 12 volt down below, along with a good amount of storage space. There's a small divider down here, so if you need to put anything down there, you have the option to do that, which is nice to see. As we make our way over to the glove box, I'll just push on this button on the left side, and you have a good amount of room for anything that you need to place there. There's a nice trim piece above that with the Mustang 55 years badge just on top of that. We'll go ahead and take another look at these seats before we hop into the back. have a very nice design to them again. And then up top in the middle, we have the rear view mirror along with the Ford logo right in the middle of the windshield, and you have your dome lights just above that. Now it's time to go ahead and check out the back seats. Since this is a two-door, four-seater vehicle, let's see what the storage space is like in the back seats. So all I have to do on the side of the seat here is just pull on that lever up. You'll see the seat automatically go forwards, and then I can work my way into the back seats here. Once in the back seats now, you can see that my head is just up against the glass. I am 5'10", so anyone taller than that is probably not going to be able to fit in the back. You're not going to be buying a Mustang for a full 4-seat vehicle, but if you do need the back seats, they are functional and they would work in a pinch if I had to be back here. I really like how they sink in too on the bottom. They are pretty comfortable. They have some good bolstering on the sides too, same stitching as up front. So the attention to detail is just like up front. You do have a little bit of an armrest on the side and a window here, so it doesn't feel like you're too claustrophobic. The back seats also have a 50-50 split to them, so the backs do fold down. You just pull on this tab on each side and you can easily fold those down, and it gives you space into the back area there. And last up, we'll go ahead and take a look at the storage space. There's 3 ways you can do this. You have the key fob, the button on the inside, or you can walk up to the back of the vehicle just up by the license plate. You can push on that button and it will automatically open it up. You have about 13.5 cubic feet of storage space back here, and obviously with the seats down, you can easily slide through anything else that you need. I really like how on the left side and on the right side, there's some indentions there, so you can put anything sideways that you need. All right, so now getting the 2020 Mustang GT Premium out on the road. It's already warmed up. Let's go ahead and give it a little bit of gas here. Woohoo. I have the exhaust on track right now, so that way we can really hear it, and the Rev Matching is turned on. Oh, that sounds so good. Wow, that shifter is so smooth to go through. I love how light the clutch feels, and you can just feel that little notch, that extra pull in the shifter, knowing that you are in that next gear. It's very, very easy to go through this. The Rev Matching is pretty cool. I would probably turn it off just so you can have a little more fun doing it yourself, but it is turned on at the moment. Let's go ahead and put the exhaust into quiet mode. Definitely a big difference between that and track, and it's very easy to switch back and forth. I can do it on the fly just like that, which makes it very easy depending on your driving situation. If you're out on the track, obviously, you want it on track mode, or if you just want to have some fun spirited driving in this car, or if you want it in quiet mode, you know, like a start up in the morning so you don't annoy your neighbors. It's pretty cool you have the option to do that. Oh, it is so easy to drive this car going through these gears. Absolutely love that. Alright, but let's move on to some other things about this car other than the exhaust. We'll start off with the visibility. General visibility is very easy to see all around. The glass is pretty much large in any direction that you look, and I really like that there's even the glass for the back seats, which is obviously good for the driver because I can easily see over my right shoulder, a glance over my left shoulder, and I can see a little bit out of that glass. So you virtually have no blind spots, which is really nice. These A-pillars are pretty small, so I can actually even see between that side mirror and the A-pillar just a little bit. There's a nice sliver there that I can easily glance over and look at. Let's move on to just driving this car. It's been very comfortable so far. The couple miles I've put on it, I have no complaints with that. You can't adjust the suspension at all. You can just have your different driving modes. So we've been in normal right now, but we can change the steering feel. I'm gonna go ahead and put it, I'm gonna go ahead and put it into comfort out of sport mode. Let's do normal. You have sport. And you can feel it. It kind of loosens up in a sense, almost like if you had different suspension modes. I'm gonna have it back in sport right now. can feel it, it gets a little bit tighter, which is really nice to see. Coming around a turn. Wow. Plenty of power to get out of the turn. Wow. Handles pretty good. I know for a long time I used to think that Mustangs were only good in a straight line, but they've come a long way to be able to get it out on the track and actually have a really nice performance driving vehicle, other than just at the drag strip. Even though this does have the drag strip mode, they are known for being a drag strip vehicle. I really like, you can get this out on some twisty roads and definitely have some fun in it. It sounds so good. But moving back to the layout of everything on the inside, now that I've put a couple miles on it, just seeing what everything is like, it's very easy to get used to everything in the middle. I like how there's not a clutter of buttons. It's very nicely laid out. Well guys, I think that's gonna wrap up with my walk around review and test drive in the 2020 Ford Mustang GT Premium. Once again, a huge shout out to Mooresville Ford for providing this vehicle for me today. Definitely check out their website. I will have a link to it in the description below. And if you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up, smash that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next video.